Hi everyone, this is Jo from Cloth Buns, and I have been joined this morning by Daniella from the amazing Pepi Collection. This is a reasonably new brand come out of London, and I'm so excited that Daniella's agreed to meet with me and have a little chat. And I do apologise in advance, my kids are likely to gate crash the interview, so if you see a little head bobbing around, that's my kids. So Daniella, thank you for joining us, and let's just tell us a little bit about you.
Hi Jo, thank you for inviting me on the show. About me, so I am originally from Auckland in New Zealand. I've been living in London for over 13 years now.
Wow.
So I'm basically a Brit. I married the love of my life, Sam, who's Swedish, a couple of years ago. So London is home right now. And I've got two wonderful children, Stella, who's 2.5, and Hugo, who is 5 months.
That's great.
And
New Zealand, Swedish children. I mean, that's a lot of New Zealand laid backness with some quite nice socialism from Sweden. Sweden, socialist country and children. Yeah, so that's a great mix. That's really great.
Yeah, it's a lovely mix. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to go home for quite a while. So my parents haven't even been able to meet my little one yet.
Well, hopefully, as lockdown eases, straight on the flight over.
Yes, it's me. And both of my children are actually in nappies. So, Stella, who's nearly 2.5, we're in the process of potty training, but she's still in nappies the majority of the time. And then Hugo's. The great thing about the Pepi nappies is that both of them are wearing exactly the same nappies.
That's it. That's great. I've got the Pepi does still fit my nearly 3.5-year-old. She's quite slim, so they do still fit her. They look very snug and pant-like, but they do still. My son's 21 months, and he's starting to make rumblings of wanting to think about potty training. I'm like, no, I've got too many nappies I need to try. You're not potty. Just stay there. So I refuse to let him potty train until he's at least 2. There's so many nappies and not enough time. But what made you decide to start up your own company collection, and why pocket nappies?
Sure. Well, coming from New Zealand, every time I've been home, I've found that, in New Zealand and Australia, reusable cloth nappies are a lot more mainstream than they are in the UK. So quite a few, not lots of them, but quite a few of my friends were into them. There was just more of a presence, basically. And then when I was pregnant with Stella, we were in NCT class, and one of the girls brought up the topic of reusable nappies, about how to reduce the carbon footprint when a new child comes into this world. And then that got me just thinking about it again. I started off using disposable nappies. But at the time, we were living in a very small London apartment where our washing machine, our clothes washer was literally under the sink. We had to dry all the clothes in the kitchen, and our rubbish bin was in the kitchen. And at the time, we were just collecting so many, the amount of rubbish that we were.
It's a mountain, it really is.
And the smell that would emanate during summertime, and there were even some weeks, I'm not sure what the council's thinking, but our rubbish wasn't collected. It's a whole other story. And so one of our reasons for really getting into trying out reusables was actually just to reduce waste. And at the time, I contacted two Nappy Libraries in London, and there was a big waiting list to try out the nappies. So then I went to the Nappy Gurus, and there's a big questionnaire, and you get to those questions and list of priorities about what you want. I'm sure my priorities would be different now to what I filled out originally when I didn't really know anything about reusables. But they recommended a couple of brands and styles. And I actually just bought them outright because I didn't have I couldn't get any off the Nappy Library. So that started our journey. It was a bit of trial and error. Most of the brands that I bought and we recommended were actually Australian and American brands. But that also got me thinking that, you know, we should be supporting British companies, you know what I mean? And a part of to make cloth more mainstream. Well, it's, you know, it's the British nappy companies that are aiming to make change in the UK and to make cloth more accessible and mainstream.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically just, you know, I actually just really enjoyed using them. You know what I mean? It was to reduce our household waste, and I actually genuinely just preferred using cloth. And aesthetically,
I love it.
aesthetically, they look beautiful. Like when I was actually, when we were getting samples made of our nappies, I would take my daughter into the playground, and you know, summertime, and she'd just wear her nappies underneath cute little dresses, and you could see the prints popping out at the bottom. And I actually got lots of comments from parents. So it's a good conversation starter. So some parents would come up to me and be like, "Oh, I use cloth as well," and get talking. And then others just made, you know, just lovely comments about it. So yeah, it's a conversation starter. So yeah, and then moving on to the style that we wanted. I think when we looked at the design of the nappy that we wanted to bring out, basically we just wanted something that worked and that was easy to use. Easy to use was a must. And you know, my husband agreed that pocket nappies were the easiest. I thought they were the easiest to use. I just love the fact that you can customize them depending on your child's needs. So basically for Stella, who's nearly 2.5, we used 2 of the inserts. And for my son, we have been using 1. We use 2 at night. So
we'll stop for a moment, just have a very quick look, because these, I love. First off, they're gigantic. They're just gigantic. They're huge. You get 2 of them. I absolutely love them, and just really, really lovely quality, and they wash well. I'm in love with these inserts. I really, really am. They're just so nicely. And
one thing about the inserts is that because we're also trying out, you know, different materials. One of the biggest processes in this whole business has been creating the design of the nappy. Out of everything, it's just been getting that right. So with the inserts, you were trialing different materials. And I found that with hemp, they were just shrinking and becoming all disfigured. We're just trying to
get an issue for hemp, and also hemp and bamboo. I find that they're really great. They're fantastic. They're 100%, but they also need quite a lot of reshaping whilst damp. If you don't wobbly, whereas these, I mean, I avoid tumble drying where I can, but occasionally when the weather's pants, tumble dry. And these come out just so well because they've got that slight. They're not you know, they're bamboo and microfiber mix. They just come out so well. These are.
And they absolutely don't disfigure. And so we decided to use microfiber in the middle. So I've got 2 layers of microfiber, just for fast drying. And for fast absorption as well. And then you've got a layer on either side of bamboo, and let's just keep it nice and soft and to retain the water. So basically, it's the benefits of both materials that we're incorporating into the insert. And we want to provide 2 of them, not just 1.
And they're both such great size, because quite often with pocket nappies you'll have a little one and then the bigger one, but I love that these are large format.
And then some of the new nappies out there, you have to snap them in. We didn't want that. We wanted it easy, you know, just put it in, that's it, no more snapping or adding. So what else are we thinking for pocket nappy? We're thinking of all-in-ones, but the all-in-ones that we started off with, they just didn't suit us, and we found that we'd always have to add absorbency anyway. So I was like, well, it's not really an all-in-one. So, and in the men that I was speaking to, including some family members and my husband, you know, because I really wanted their feedback, and they all agreed that pockets were the easiest as well. And also when designing a pocket nappy, it was important to have like a really big opening at the back, just so it's easy to.
You just say snap on the, you know, we've got the same print.
Yeah, I know, we've got the same one. It's
Same.
baby there.
This is a really nice pocket, but a feature I really like that you've elasticated the inside of it, because some people don't, and to me that just feels a little bit unfinished, because the bit is a bit flappy and a bit gaping, whereas this is just, it just goes down trim. It's so nice.
Yeah, thank you so much. And speaking of prints, Baby Bear is one of my favorites as well. I just love it's hand illustrated baby bear faces and a beautiful russet brown. Anyway, more about the design of the nappy. We decided that we wanted snaps instead of Velcro. I think the longevity of the nappy is increased with snaps over Velcro.
Yeah, I'm definitely a popper fan. Obviously I've got some pro in my collection, because that's just but I'm definitely a popper person, because once babies reach a certain age, I found that was difficult.
And we've only got one Velcro nappy, and we found that the Velcro also got quite dirty.
It gets bits in it.
Yeah, maybe that's our fault for not, to be fair, that's probably our fault for not cleaning it properly. So that would happen, and aesthetically, which I think is important. I just think it looks a lot nicer with the snaps. Also, we wanted a double gusset. We wanted this inside as opposed to outside of the nappy, because most nappies with an external gusset, it's just another layer of PUL, I found, and it didn't really achieve much in terms of containment. So we thought a double gusset inside would be the way to
And this
go.
is a really nice double gusset, because some of them that you see are a bit wishy-washy, whereas this is actually quite firm. You can really see it pulling. It's doing its job, because you can see the ruche, I guess, of the material there. So some internal double gussets are just a bit wibbly-wobbly, aren't they? You have got to.
Also, we wanted the double row of snaps, and you can kind of see, if you're looking at the nappy, the kind of, so the way I put it on my child is that I snap on the hip snap first to get a nice fit around the thighs and around the leg, and then I get the waist snap and I pull it across, sometimes even tighter. And then I've spoken to some people and they just prefer single row of snaps. So I was saying to them, if you want, you could just use the waist snap, because you don't have to use.
What I quite like about this sort of configuration here is, if you've got a very, very chunky leg baby, what I suggest to people, instead of using vertical this way, if you actually use this hip snap and this way, and you angle it slightly, then you can create a bigger hip opening. And for my people who've got chunky leg babies, doing it that way is a really nice hack for those chunky leg babies. It just opens up the shape, and it also makes it quite nice. It gives a little bit more flex in the front for when babies are starting to fall and lean forward. So that's what I really like about poppers, because you can't do that so well,
You can customize it,
so I'm all about hacking where I can, and
I haven't done that before. Maybe just.
Well, there we are. I'm feeling very switched now. But when you're doing that, you can just use these as your fasteners rather than these, and then you get a sort of bigger. It changes the sort of shape and the dimension of the nappy, and it's great if you've got big legs.
And then of course the snaps crossover for little babies.
Yeah.
I haven't quite. Oh no, here we go. I haven't quite done that right, but for tiny weenie babies. So that's also when we're designing the nappy, we were actually wanting to come in also at an attractive price point. Because we've noticed that lots of the new brands that have launched recently, they're in the region, they retail at about £22. And a big part of us creating our brand is that we want to make our nappies mainstream, you know what I mean? So how do you achieve that? You need to come at an attractive price point. We can't price families out of using cloth nappies. So we think we've achieved that, because 2.5 years ago I would not have been able to buy my stash at £22 a nappy. So that's what we're also thinking.
No, I think for the quality nappy you're getting, these are actually an amazing price. Am I right in thinking that it's £14.95 for the plains and £15.95 for the designer?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Hey.
Yeah. It's a really great price point considering the quality of the nappy that you get.
We wanted a premium product that's high quality, that's affordable.
Yeah.
And I really think that's what we've achieved.
Yeah, I think you really have. I mean, this is just such a great nappy. You've come out of the gate with a really fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. When I was first looking, I'm a nappy nerd, and I'm trying to get all the nappies into my library. But when I saw these, I was like, I need to have these because the inserts are amazing. And some people get a bit sniffy about blends of microfiber and bamboo things, but a lot of people who go purist and go all bamboo or all hemp suddenly find that they've got leaks at about the 6-month range because babies are starting to gush wee. They start the bigger bladder capacity and suddenly they're gushing. And they say, what do I do about that? I say, well, add some cotton or some microfiber as a top layer. And so having the mix here, you've just got the best of both. And you've got that quick absorption in the microfiber, and then the bamboo will lock it all away for as long as you need.
And it's fast drying as well. So when we're designing a nappy, it was having to be fast drying.
Yeah, fast dry is great. And yeah, I tried this on myself. I haven't actually had the opportunity to test this to full capacity with my son because I've never had them in the library long enough to try. But aced, like the standard 4-hour, absolutely aced it. Yeah. I could see this easily going 6+. Like car journey nappy. Like this is a great car journey nappy.
Yeah, and with my 5-month-old baby, we're actually using these overnight as well with 2 inserts.
Nice.
So at the moment, it's really working for him overnight. So.
That's really good. I mean, yeah, now that my son is starting to wet a bit less because he's starting to feed a bit less at night, this would probably do him overnight actually with the inserts because he's coming out of that. He's on the other end of the feeding now. But when I was reading on your website, it said that Pepi is a Maori word for baby. So how do we actually pronounce it? Because I imagine, are we just butchering it all the time?
How did you say it, Joe?
I say Pepi. I just say Pepi.
Right, Pepi Collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I thought maybe we're just butchering.
No. I would have corrected you. So Pepi means baby in Te Reo Māori, which is one of the official languages of New Zealand. So I am Māori myself. So,
who are you? Oh, that's very cool.
So half Māori and half Scottish. So
there's a lot of mixing going on in your little great genealogy mix.
Yeah, so speaking about my Scottish heritage, I don't know if you've seen on the website, but we just released a design called Highland fling, and that nods to tradition,
heritage. I have to say what's the grey one with the bows?
Flatterby bows.
Oh, that is very pretty. Without being too much, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
So I've never been able to get hold of the what was the delicate floral print? I did know this. Darling buds, and I've never been able to get hold of it because it's never been asked.
That sold out very early on.
Yeah, it's just a lovely print, so delicate.
Yeah, it's very delicate.
What gave you the inspiration to go with some hand illustrated prints instead of just doing it on the computer? What gave you the inspiration to do that? Did you design them?
Well, we didn't do them on the computer because, I had an idea of what I wanted, and I'm not an artist myself, so I collaborated with artists.
Lovely.
To make my vision come alive, basically. So that's how it happened, and I just thought at the time there wasn't that many hand illustrated and hand painted prints out there, and it was just about also creating something that was unique, and I know that ultimately this is a baby product, but we didn't want the designs to be to babyish.
Yeah. At the end of the day, babies don't care.
Well, yeah, I know it's all about.
They don't really mind what you're putting on. I think in terms of the prints and the print choices, very much make mum happy.
Yeah, you just wanted prints that were fun and unique.
And I have to say, this jet one, like this is black. This is black. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And my little boy, when he's running around, he just looks so stylish.
Yes, yeah. Black is, yeah, it's a very popular, and we weren't going to release it actually. You know, I was kind of umming and ahhing about, well, people like a black nappy, is that normal? But it's actually been really popular. And I just think, you know, when I put that nappy jet on my daughter and on my son, they just look so cool.
Yeah.
You know, like,
my son looks super swish.
Yeah, I was like, you guys look so cool.
You think he needs to get like a little leather jacket or something? He just run around with a leather jacket and that's it. He'd just be, it'd be the Fonz basically. It'd be so cool. So yeah, you've just released the new print range. Some really lovely things in there. What's sort of next on your radar for Pepi? I mean, when did you start? Was it 2 years ago or a year and a half?
No, Joe, we launched 5 months ago.
Really? Crap. That's crazy. So
that we launched, we also moved house and I had a baby.
Right.
Hugo arrived. Hugo was late. Launching the business was late. Launching the business was actually 9 months late.
5 months. I thought you were a little bit more sort of in longer than that. So really, because I mean, I've only been doing the Nappy Library since September, and that's when I really started looking at all the brands for me to try. And so yeah, I must have found you straight out the gate.
That's good.
Nappies, they are just, they're definitely one of my favourite pocket nappies out there. They're just,
thank you so much.
They're just so great.
We're so happy with the product. Yeah, so literally we asked, but that's what everyone asked me, what's next? I'm like, I just launched. So yeah, we just released a new collection of designs. I don't think, you know, our next collection will probably come out in the new year, just because it takes, there's a lot of effort that goes into, not all of them are painted. But there's a lot of changes that we made. A lot of
R&D, I imagine.
Yeah, and so a lot of love goes into those prints. So I don't think we're releasing, but I've got some other product ideas that I've been speaking to manufacturers with.
Is this in the nappy line or just more sort of moving around accessories as well?
Both.
Ooh, that's exciting. I don't want to too much more because a sense of mystery is always good, but that sounds exciting.
It's exciting, but I don't want to tell you what it is because it might not happen as well.
That's fine. No, that's absolutely fine. But it's great that you are in the position where you are looking at, you know, expanding or doing new things or, you know, new creativity for that, because yeah, I absolutely love these. You've come out of the gate with a fantastic nappy. I really love Pepi Collection. I'm going to be doing, I've had a request actually from someone on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, to do like, what would your perfect stash be? And like, this is going to be in there. So I'm like, I love you too, sweetheart. And yeah, this will definitely be in that collection of, you know,
perfect. Yeah, thank you.
It's just so great.
Also, what's next for us? I think, you know, we'll probably be we'll be looking at some stockists in New Zealand and Australia.
Oh, nice.
Just because, well, I've got a lot of support from her. Everyone's like, your nappies, but shipping costs are just ridiculous. So I think it'd be best just to work with a stockist. So we'll be doing that soon. But Joe, I'm always coming up with ideas. But it's just
helps keep your brain fresh when all else is like baby related.
No, I'm just really enjoying it, and we also we're sponsors of our local NCT group as well.
Yes, I'd read that.
Yeah, so and it's also
oldest nappy tester.
And we'll also be supporting Nappy Libraries. We've donated some nappies to local libraries in London, but we'll continue to do that throughout the UK. And yeah, so that's, and yeah, we just want.
But I think that you know, you guys and us libraries, we're both working to the same edge, which is to make more mainstream, make it accessible.
Yeah, and awareness, yeah.
And it's just absolutely love it. And yeah, we've started up in September, and I've been quite busy actually. Getting like a lot of newborn interest, which is really good. Trying to get off the bat. Yeah. And yeah, it's been so much fun. And I've also got so many ideas, but lockdown with the 2 kids, you don't get like to do. But once they can get back to the childminder, hopefully I'll have some time to really focus on ideas. And it's Real Nappy Week next month, so hopefully lots of people are going to have, you know, ideas and things to do with that. So yeah, it's going to be fun times and lots of excitement. And I'm loving being a librarian, because it just I wouldn't have thought to get all of these nappies just for, you know, my son, because he's 21 months now. I've got my stash. My stash is quite old, like Bum Genius Flip. That's how old my stuff goes, because it was it for my eldest. So you can't even get it anymore, I don't think. The opportunity to try all these lovely nappies if I hadn't started the library. It's a very, very thin veil for my nappy obsession, really.
Great.
And yeah, sometimes when I get my favourite prints back, I'm like, oh, my pretty. We'll get there. But yeah, thank you ever so much for taking the time. It's been really interesting finding out the process of what you went through to make the nappies. And you've come out on top. These are brilliant.
Thank you.
Could not recommend trying these enough. You know, absolutely one of my top pocket nappies. And oh, yeah, I just love it.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you for all your hard work in promoting nappies, educating families. And
it's a small obsession. Well, it's not very small. It's a big obsession. I'm really glad to be able to do it. So thank you so much. Should we wave bye? And then let's up to camera. Let's wave goodbye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Should we say bye bye? Have a nice day.
Bye. Have a nice day.
And yeah, we'll catch up with you soon. And I'm looking forward to all the new things that you're going to do. It's a great brand. Oh, she's pulling on now. It's great. And I hope we've got many, many good things coming for you.
Great. Thanks, Joe. I'll miss you too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.